Hello and welcome to Cal State Fullerton's Male Youth Empowerment Conference. My name is Sergio Contreras, Executive Director with United Ways, United for Student Success Initiative, and we are once again proud to join Cal State Fullerton in sponsoring this exciting event. On behalf of the Orange County United Way, we want to wish you an exciting conference. So whether you're still in your bed, viewing it from your couch, in your pajamas, or your fuzzy socks, we want to celebrate you for taking this conference on, for investing the time and energy to learn about what's available for you when you graduate from high school and beyond. So once again, on behalf of the Orange County United Way, we want to wish you the very best, and we look forward to your success.
My name is Kenitza Carrillo, and I am the Academic Advising Specialist of the Center for Scholars. Today, I would love to talk to you about the Center for Scholars and the scholarship programs that we support on our campus. So let's get started. The Center for Scholars supports students from 6 different scholarship programs. We are a diverse center with over 300 scholars with different identities and life experiences. Therefore, the mission of our center is to cultivate a culture of inclusion that embraces diversity and individual uniqueness. We provide transformational learning opportunities that encourages broader learning, leadership, and personal growth. Something that I want to highlight here is that we are all about transformational experiences. We are not just a center where folks come in, get their services, and leave. We really build relationships with students, meaning that we want to get to know you and we want to get to know your goals. We see you as a whole person, meaning that we know that you are more than just students. And through that, we create a space that celebrates and honors your individuality. So today, I would like to talk to you about 3 of our scholarship programs that students can apply to. Our 3 scholarship programs are the Abrigo Future Scholars, Guardian Scholars, and President Scholars programs. To start us off, the Abrigo Future Scholars is designed to support first-generation underrepresented students. First generation means that your biological parents did not get a bachelor's degree from a university in the US. In order for students to apply, they must be first-time freshmen or first-time transfer students, meaning that when you start your time at Cal State Fullerton, it must be your first semester, either as a new freshman or as a first-time transfer student. This scholarship is a 1-year scholarship, and students eligible to apply must have a high school weighted GPA of 3.0 or above, or for transfer applicants must have a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or above. As mentioned before, it is a 1-year scholarship of $1,500 for the full academic year, and it will be dispersed in 2 semesters. In order for students to be eligible to receive the scholarship, they must be enrolled at Cal State Fullerton full-time. When students apply to this scholarship program, they will submit an online application and then will be notified through email if they are selected to the program. Our second program is the Guardian Scholars Program, which is designed to support former foster youth who are starting their time at Cal State Fullerton. They must have been in the foster care system on or after their 13th birthday and must be under the age of 26 to be eligible. First-time freshmen, transfer students, or current Cal State Fullerton students are eligible to apply, and this will be a full ride scholarship. This means that the scholarship will be covering all of your educational expenses. In order for students to apply, they must have a minimum of a 2.5 GPA or above. And if students apply and they don't get it the first time around, they are eligible to apply again. Students will be able to submit an online application and then will be invited for an interview. And then after the interview process, they will be informed through email if they were selected for the program. Our last program is our President Scholars Program, which is a merit-based scholarship that covers full cost of tuition. Merit-based scholarship means that it is awarded to students based on their academic success in high school. Applicants must be high school seniors with a weighted GPA of at least 3.75 or above, and they must demonstrate significant contributions to school and community. Similar to the Guardian Scholars Program, students must also submit an online application and they will be invited for an interview. And then after the interview process, they will be informed through email if they were selected for the program. All applications are currently open and will close on March 2nd. So make sure you get your application in if you're eligible to apply. You can learn more about our programs by visiting our website and also scanning your phone over this QR code. Why apply to be part of the Center for Scholars and our scholarship programs? Well, there are lots of benefits that come with being part of our scholarship programs. First and foremost, we have a physical center on campus where students can hang out and study. It's a physical space only for our scholars located in the center of campus at our library. We have study spaces, computers, and free wireless printing available for all of our students. Students can come hang out in the center and wait until their next class or their next meeting. Many scholars consider this their home away from home when they are on campus. Students can also benefit from academic advising and workshops. We have trained advisors to help meet with you to create your academic goals. We will build plans with you to ensure that you know what to expect and have a plan ready for graduation. And we will also meet with you to ensure that you are prepared and ready to register for classes. Retention services. We check your academic progress each semester to ensure that you are passing your courses. Again, we create success plans. If for some reason you've come across certain issues, we get you connected to tutoring services and help you get on track to be on good academic standing and closer to graduation. We also provide life coaching. Our advisors are here to get to know you as a person and can be a source of support as you continue to grow into adulthood. Advisors will help connect scholars to skills and resources to help them in life. Again, we see you as a whole person, so we know that personal life can sometimes get in the way of academic life. So your advisors are here for support. We also provide emergency support to all of our scholars. The center has lots of partnerships with organizations on and off campus to help students through emergencies like housing, food, and unexpected expenses. We also have a dedicated staff member to meet with students on one-on-one to understand their situation, their needs, and provide the appropriate support. We partner up very closely with our counseling and psychological services to provide mental health services for all of our students. This counselor meets with our students and provides tailored support for our scholars. He gets to know you all very closely. The counselor also holds mental health workshops and groups for our students to talk about their feelings and experiences in group settings. Because we're not just about academics, we're also about fun. We provide a lot of fun social activities for our center. We provide opportunities for scholars to build community within their scholarship groups and within the center. Each scholarship program has a student association where scholars can participate to get to know students who also receive their scholarship and have similar identities and experiences. We provide opportunities for students to distress from school and have fun. Some events that we have hosted are Friendsgiving in the fall, spring break retreats, game nights, and movie nights. We also help you as you get prepared for graduation through our Graduating Scholar Program. This program is designed to help graduating students go from students to professional. We help you create a plan for life after college, and students who participate in our program receive graduation regalia, meaning your cap and your gown and your alumni association membership for free. We also help you with career and leadership. We help you get connected to different jobs on campus and start helping you build skills to get closer to your career goals. Students on our campus are seen as leaders. Therefore, we help you prepare for those leadership opportunities. For example, we have a really great partnership with the Career Center in the I Am First program, where it is a program designed for first-generation college students to start getting career development as soon as they are students on campus. And we also help build relationships and a network across campus of resources and career opportunities for all of our students. Some of our signature events that we want to highlight in this presentation is our Scholar Smart Start program. This is a summer course paid for by the center that is 1 unit, and it's a week-long course. During this course, you will be taking it the summer before your first semester, and it's an opportunity for you to build academic skills to make you successful during your first year. During the day, you'll be attending class, getting to know the different resources on campus, and at night, you'll be participating in fun community building activities. This is a great opportunity to meet new scholars who will also be starting their academic journey at CSUF and help you build a community right before you step onto campus. We also love to celebrate our graduating scholars by our graduating scholar celebrations. This is something that we host at the end of our spring semester to celebrate all of our students who are graduating and all of their achievements they've had. We recognize our scholars and then we invite supporters to celebrate your achievements. We also invite campus leaders and donors who also celebrate our scholars. In this picture, you can see our president of our university is taking a picture with one of our graduating scholars. In the picture up top, you can also see some of our students who are decorating hats for our Scholar Smart Start program. If you are interested in applying in any of our programs, or if you have more questions about who we are in the center and how you can be a part of our programs, please feel free to contact us. Our staff is available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can also check out our website for more information about our programs by visiting www.fullerton.edu/scholars. Again, if you have any questions or you would like to learn more about our scholarship applications, feel free to email us at scholars@fullerton.edu. Thank you, and I hope that you consider our scholarship programs when you are applying to college.
Hi, and welcome to Cal State Fullerton. My name is Dr. Clint Michael Renau. I use he, him, his pronouns, and it is a pleasure to have you join us for the Male Youth Empowerment Conference. The exciting thing is that you are here with us, albeit virtually, at Cal State Fullerton, but we hope that you will use this time to see what it means to be a college student, to help see what your future could hold, and to see what it's like being on this campus and other college campuses. We want you to know that you have everything that it takes to be on a college campus. You have all that you need right within you. And we hope the sessions that you experience and that you interact with will fulfill you and enrich you. And we hope that people that you meet over the next few days, you will please stay in contact with and connect and build your network on. So on behalf of President Fran Vergy of Cal State Fullerton, on behalf of Tanatsino Sagata, our Vice President, I just want to say it is a pleasure having you with us, and we wish you the very best. Enjoy your time here, and please know that you belong in college, and we hope that you get a great experience over the next few days.
Thank you for joining the MYEC 5th Anniversary Men of Color Student Panel. We are going to get started in just a little bit, but thank you so much for joining. If you click this session of the pre-recorded sessions, you're now about to enter into our Male Youth Empowerment Conference pre-recorded student panel. And we'll go ahead and get started in just a little bit with introductions. So welcome so much. We're excited to have you here. The voice you're hearing is Dr. Vincent Harris. I am the director of MSI Fullerton. I will serve as your moderator here for the Student Men of Color panel for MYEC 5.0 5th Anniversary. You're gonna meet 5 dynamic brothers of color from all across campus who are super engaged on campus, committed to their academics, and also leaders in their own right within their own student orgs outside of MSI and other spaces. So as of now, I'll start the sharing process and we'll start with introductions. And so we'll go ahead and start with Brother Jaren.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jaren Ramos. I am a business major and I am graduating class of 2023.
Hey guys, my name is Sebastian Rivera and I'm a computer science major, class of 2022.
Hello everyone, I'm David Monterosa. I'm an electrical engineering major and I am class of 2024.
Hello everybody, my name is Rodolfo Mendoza. My major is business administration. It's a concentration in finance and expected to graduate in May 2021.
Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel Perez, majoring in computer engineering and class of 2023.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So we'll get started with the very first question. Thank you all for being here today. So the first question, and we'll start with Brother Jaron, and then we'll go in the order we discussed earlier. So as a man of color, what has been your biggest challenge in college so far?
For me, it was really trying to rebuild my confidence. I came into Cal State Fullerton with only like one other person who went to my high school. And I'm not from the SoCal area. I'm actually from the Bay Area. So coming to 400 miles down to a college that I had no idea about, or a culture that I wasn't used to, it was really intimidating. And, I think my proudest moment was, instead of, being the shy college student who just went to school, I really like put myself out there. I got myself involved, and now I am president of a club. So yeah.
Cool. And we'll hear more about that club later, I'm sure. All right, Brother Sebastian, same question. As a man of color, what was your biggest challenge in college?
So I think one of the biggest challenges for me was kind of finding a place at school. And I think MSI really helped me with that. So I definitely struggled with finding someone who had similar experiences to me, as Orange County is a predominantly white campus. So there wasn't many people that looked like me. But MSI definitely helped me find a place where there are a lot of people that look like me and had similar experiences. And I think one of my proudest moments was probably on our retreat, where I got the opportunity to open up a lot more and get more comfortable with everybody.
Thank you, brother. We'll go with who's next?
Yeah, I'm next. So as a man of color, I guess my biggest challenge was like moving from an area which was predominantly Latino. It was a Latino area, low income place. So I moved from there to LA with my grandparents, and I kind of know nobody, and since it's my first year with virtual, it's been like a weird transition of not having any friends nearby, or not having people to talk to online. And I think MSI, so far, like the people that I've met through MSI have been like one of the best things that have happened to me, because I've not only have a support system, but I have people that I can talk to on a regular, just play games with, or just talk to on Discord. And then I guess my proudest moment so far in college would just be, getting through it, learning this transition. I hope that I'll be able to learn the transition next semester, as we should be going back onto campus, but I'll just have to see it then.
We'll have to see, brother. We'll have to see.
For me, as well, as my other brother said, it's just moving from a place where you're from. I'm from Santa Ana, so it's mostly Hispanics and Latino. And I was maybe the only one in my high school who went to Fullerton, because I went to community college first and then went to Fullerton. So I went by myself. I didn't know anybody. And then I just started using the resources at Fullerton. So I joined the Latino Business Club, which I met a lot of new friends. So that was the biggest kind of toughest thing I got. It was just trying to fit in, like everyone says. But on campus, there's so many resources that you could use that, I took advantage of. And luckily, I met friends and I got into clubs. And then now I love going to college. Well, I used to go when campus was open. But my proudest moment from college is joining a program called Titan Capital Management, and going through the process of it. It took about 4 months to join, but it's all worth it. The club is just me and other students manage about $2.1 million in fixed income and assets. So that's my proudest moment joining that club.
Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing. Brother Emmanuel, same question.
For me, my biggest challenge was always feeling like I had to prove myself and demonstrate to others and myself that I didn't get to college just because the college wanted to diversify, but because I actually worked hard. This challenge motivated me to like put myself out there, be more involved, and thanks to that, like my proudest moment was being able to lead a robotics team, even though I had no experience in my freshman year, second semester. So that was pretty big for me.
Thank you so much. All right, so the next question is, and this one is a kind of a long question. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly so that our audience and our panelists can see the question, see this question. So give me just a minute. Should have already had this set up, but you know what? This is technology and we're gonna go with the flow. All right, so this is question number 2. Explain why you selected your career and major and what you love the most about your major, or share the significance behind joining clubs or organizations you were involved in, or do you hold any role in those clubs, and what would be your advice to a brother seeking to join a student organization? And so you also already have the question, so just let us know which question you're going to answer, and we'll start with Sebastian.
So I'll go ahead and answer the first one. I picked my career path and my major because it was something I always loved. I'm a computer science major, and ever since I was little, I was interested in it. I always kind of looked into it on my own. I messed around with computers. I broke a lot of computers, and I actually got the opportunity in high school to have an internship in DC, where I got to work and build a website. And then in my senior year of high school, I was in a computer science class, which was the only one that was offered at my high school. So it was kind of cool. I got really close to that teacher and she showed me a lot. And I kind of knew at that moment that it was something that I wanted to do. So I came into college and I knew that that I would just continue doing what I love to do. And it's been great so far.
And we can attest your skills do work. All right, next up.
So yeah, I'll answer the first one. So I selected electrical engineering since I had some experiences in like electrical stuff. Like I would change outlets for my parents, or just change lights. I would always be doing something like electrical based. So like in that sense, I just naturally moved to it. I was choosing computer science at first, but then I kind of just realized that I didn't want to be behind a computer. I kind of wanted to tingle with my hands a little bit. And then from there, I had a trip to China where I had helped the family, put electricity through their house. And I was there for about a month, just shocking myself sometimes, or, helping them, or like almost falling from like a roof, like putting a light in or something. So it was just an experience that just helped me to choose electrical engineering as my major.
So I'll pick the first one as well. How I got into my major was I used to work with my father when I was 16. I'll still work with him, but he usually always works in Newport Beach and big, nice houses and big real estates. And when I would work inside their houses of these people, I would always watch their TVs and they would always be like stock market news and like weird like numbers and arrows. I'm like, that looks interesting to me. And one day I asked one of our clients, I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's the stock market. It's where you invest your money into companies. And ever since then, I always like, I wanted their life. I wanted a nice house because they look so relaxed. So that just got me into like investing. And then when I was in community college, I started researching how to invest, how to trade. And then I opened my first trading account when I was 20, and I still trade now. And I love my major, concentration in finance, and that's how I got into it.
For me, I chose the second question, which is the significance behind joining a club organization. Joining a club organization, I feel like is really important because it's a good way to expand your network and at the same time, make friends who could help you throughout this journey of college, which can be rough sometimes. It also, most importantly, I feel like joining a club's organization gives you the opportunity for professional development. So you get exposure to like areas near your field, or you get to learn how to you get leadership skills, for example. If you were to join a club, like a piece of advice I would give is choose something that's tailored to you. Like for example, me being majoring in computer engineering and Hispanic, I chose something that was close to that, which is SHIP, which stands for Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. And in that club, we're almost every week we have meetings and there's guest speakers that talk about topics like how to get an interview, your elevator pitch, graduate school, stuff like that. I also got the opportunity through that club to go to a 4-day national conference in Arizona, where I got exposure to a lot of companies like Google, Microsoft, Twitter, Boeing. And during my freshman year, I couldn't really compete against these people, but I really got exposure to like what I need to do in order to get to that place where I want to be. And that's it.
I will actually answer the second question. I'm going to answer it kind of like reverse. So first, I would say that an advice to a brother seeking to join a student organization is to go somewhere where you're able to identify, whether that be like culturally or socially. You'll be able to not only feel comfortable in a space, but build like your own personality and learn about yourself. There are two current organizations I am involved with on campus. The first being the Philippines Student Association, PASA. And I joined thinking that, you know, there wasn't a lot of Filipinos on campus, but when we started holding meetings, I saw like 100 to 200 members, and we all talk about like what it means to be Filipino American and including ourselves in our own culture. And that really connected me with my heritage as well. Another organization is actually one that I co-founded because I realized that, you know, there's a lot of people who fell in love with fashion and are very like into the fashion business as well. So me and a few other peers have created Fullerton's Fashion Association. It's tailored so that members will build both individuality and uniqueness through their own style, and you know, building off of like what you should be looking for a student organization. I took the time to learn, like, you know what, this is more than just fashion. It's about becoming confident in yourself, and yeah.
Thank you so much. So many different varieties and reasons to pick a major and also joining clubs. It's important that you also think about what's going to happen outside of the classroom. So thanks, brothers, for letting our audience and our young brothers know that. So the third question, I'm going to share the screen again, is since becoming a college student, how has your definition of what it means to be a man changed? Or how has your concept of what represents manhood evolved? And again, you can answer either parts of those questions, but are both of them. But yeah, because coming to college, you become a different type of evolving person of who you are, and your definitions of what you thought things were adjust. So this time we're going to start with, I think we have Brother David to start first.
Yeah, so I'll do the first part of that question. So what my definition was of a man before I, came into college was like, you couldn't ask for help. Like you needed to figure things out on your own. That was like the Latin culture that my parents have taught me and my grandparents. I see it in my grandpa now. So like it was just like a sense of like you couldn't figure, or you had to figure things out for yourself. You couldn't ask for help. Like no. So like coming into college, I would always stick to myself. I would kind of, I wouldn't like let my ideals come out or something like that. And having these like conversations with MSI, I've learned that I can ask for help. Like I have, insecurities or, little things that have come from my childhood that like that just needed to come out. And I guess it's just made me more accepting of the community around and more accepting of myself. So like now I'm not looking at like what it means to be a man as figuring everything out by myself. I'm more looking at what can I do to help myself and what can I help to do other, like, reach out to others and look out for our brothers and our family, the people around ourselves. So I guess for me, I've just kind of trying to transition to become a more of a leadership in what it means to be a man.
For me, it was just learning how to prioritize school. I remember before college, I didn't really was the best at school, and then I learned a lot. Now that I think I've become a man now that I have to prioritize my school. I have to prioritize my health, my sleep. You know, when you're not in college and you're high school, you kind of don't. It's the little things that you don't prioritize, and now you're like, wow, I really have to get my sleep in. I have to eat. I have to drink water. Have to study, and it's just being responsible overall. College has taught me so much, and it's just that responsibility you create and the discipline you get adds on to your life, just everyday life. Then you start making your bed, you start washing the dishes. It all adds up. So college has definitely changed me as a man just by learning how to be respectful, learning how to be disciplined, and learning how to be learning how to prioritize stuff.
For me, before coming to college, I always thought, a man should always be independent, strong, no matter like the situation. Like if time gets rough, never show weakness, always keep it in and just keep moving forward. But now that I'm in college and part of MSI, we learn to break those toxic masculinity concepts that society puts on us. And like my concept of man now is like a real man acknowledge when they are defeated, when they need help, and they ask for help. They don't just hold it in, because by holding it in, you're just weighing yourself down.
Hi. So I think is it my turn or is it your turn?
Go
Go ahead. I read the list wrong.
I'm piggybacking off of Emmanuel because I really do think that what it means to be a man, my original like thinking in high school was, this very heteronormative idea of like being stoic, being like the man of the house. And after, coming to Cal State Fullerton, I learned that it's more about just responsibility and allyship, it's learning to be accountable for yourself as well as becoming your own, like, how do I put this, like having your own independence and proving not to anyone but to yourself that you deserve to be in college, you deserve to have this education. And yeah.
So I think for me, it changed a lot. In the beginning, it was more about kind of keeping to yourself and being kind of headstrong, right? As that was my definition in the beginning, and it's changed more to kind of like other people have said, asking for help, being able to kind of be vulnerable in times where you don't want to, or at least that's not what you were taught. And I think it's helped a lot. It's helped to understand myself a little bit more as well as others, and to be a little bit more caring and interact with people, as opposed to offering solutions when people have problems, because that's what I was taught. It was always like, no, like look for the solution, and that's kind of like your job is to fix problems, as opposed to being more caring and more sympathetic to others as well as myself. So I think that's kind of what it's changed to for me.
Nice. Yes, we always say in MSI, we are all born male, but we become men. And the types of men we become are a variety of different types. And so there's no one way to be a man. There's no one way to grow up as a man and become a man. So we're happy that you get a chance to see 5 variations of brothers who are challenging some of the toxic and unhealthy forms of masculinity, particularly around heteronormativity. So We're excited. We're thankful to have your input, brothers. The next question is, if you could give your high school self a piece of advice to prepare for college, what would that advice be and why? I think that we know that Youth Empowerment Conference is centered towards young men of color in high school. So go way back, way back. Hold up, that's me way back. Y'all are just around the corner. So just think back a couple years for some of you, a few years for others. What was it like, and what do you wish you would have known? What piece of advice would you give yourself to prepare for college, and why? And so up next, first would be Brother Rodolfo.
Man, I would tell myself a lot of things about college if I was in high school. But I would say 3. The first one would be get ready to be responsible. The second one would be start building up your discipline. And the third one, probably the most important to me, is get out of your comfort zone. In high school, I never went out of my way to try to join clubs or go the extra step to study. And so I would tell myself, like, start getting out of your comfort zone, because if it wasn't for me getting out of my comfort zone in college, I believe I wouldn't have gotten better grades, joined the clubs or and internships I've gotten. So it's just, I would tell myself, get out of your comfort zone and just push yourself. For me, some advice I would give myself is take it serious from the beginning. So like freshman year.
Oh, Manny, sorry, Manny. Can you come closer to the mic? Okay. All right, so let's start again. Okay.
So a piece of advice I would give myself is.
Oh, no, Manny, no, still kind of low. Sorry. Can you? Oh, maybe it's the earbuds. Did you have them on earlier?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe just pull the mic closer to your mouth. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, you may have to hold it up. Okay, start again. There you go.
Okay, so a piece of advice I would give myself in high school is take high school serious from freshman year. Because for me, I didn't really take it serious. I was looking more for like fun, so I would join sports and stuff like that. But I soon realized that I had to balance out, and because sports was just wasting up my time, and I'd feel tired right after practice and just leave my homework behind. Also, another one, besides besides joining like honors class or AP classes and having good grades, another one is getting good scores on the ACT and the SAT. Because for me, like, there are some colleges that I applied for that rejected me because of the scores that I got on those. But I'm still glad to be in Fullerton. It's a really good school. But if you want to get into those top schools that you really want to go to, ACT, SAT, and having balance, that's the advice I give.
For me, I think I would just tell myself, get ready to take risks and don't be afraid to, compromise or do some or make a choice based on yourself and what you think you want to do in your career. Just because it wasn't until actually like the end of senior year when I started really getting into fashion, designing and making my own clothes, where I realized like this is what I want to do. Like the 2 months before that, I was like, I'll do like marketing and business, and instead now I'm looking into entrepreneurship in fashion. And something that I think I want my high school self to learn is that to take the risk of, if this is really what you want to do, don't listen to anyone else and be open and put yourself out there. Yeah.
First, I would tell myself to seek a math tutor. And then I think after that, I would probably tell myself just to kind of like stop being so like hard-headed, because I feel like a lot of the not in some ways, when it came to more of, when you come out of high school, you kind of think, some people think they kind of like they got everything under control, that they can do it all themselves. And I think I learned that there's a lot that even if you can do it by yourself, it's easier to ask for help. And it takes a lot less stress. It's a lot less of a mental toll. Um, and it's just not the healthiest thing for you. So I think I would have definitely talked to myself a lot more about mental health, about opening up, about finding a place in college, a community, and not trying to go it all alone, because it's something that I had just not. I just hadn't planned for that in college, that would be an issue for me. I thought that I could tackle it like I did high school, and college is a different beast. So, yeah.
So yeah, I'll piggyback off the last thing Sebastian said. Like college is a different beast. So like I guess for me, like I just had to learn to take up a different responsibility than I did for high school. Um, for high school, you have teachers, like constantly reminding you that you have to do assignments or turn in that, and for college, it's just kind of like the professors here just kind of like they give you the assignment, and whether or not you do it is your choice. Um, so I guess like you just have to learn a responsibility, and if you need that help, there's a lot of resources, especially at Fullerton, that you can go for and get the help that you need. And then another piece of advice would just be to be ready for like change. Be ready to accept that there's a society bigger than maybe what your hometown had, especially in my little hometown. I didn't have very much experience or like a very much adverse at like different cultures or anything like that. So it was just kind of like a very conservative Latino ideals around in everybody. So you're gonna have to be ready for a change, not only in academics, and you're gonna learn in academics, but you're gonna learn more about yourself and the society that is around you as in the whole. So that's the piece that I would give to myself in college or high school.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. Some really top advice. And I think that a lot of high school brothers do need to know now. Now is the time, right? To be thinking about what next steps you are going to do, your confidence, your math tutors, your level of like self-awareness, and also just, the practicality of getting into college. And I think, Brother Manny, could you repeat what you said about the ACT and SAT? Because I think that was very helpful knowledge, but it probably was a little low for the audience to hear.
So yeah, the SAT.
That's way better. Wow.
Okay, so yeah, the SAT and the ACT were like some tests that you have to take that most colleges look into, but I didn't really, focus on that. I was like, I'm gonna just take them just to take them. But when I got like this email after I applied to one of my colleges that was my top choice, they said like, oh, your math portion of the SAT was like 50 points lower than what it's supposed to. And after reading that, I was like so devastated, because I was like, if I had studied or like got a better score, I could have been in that college. But we learn. And I also love being in Fullerton, so I don't regret anything. But advice.
That's good advice. That's good advice. Thanks for sharing that and repeating that again. All right, so I think this might be the last question before we look and check our time. We know it's been a really difficult 2020. We know it's already started off to be a very interesting 2021. But over the course of your time in college, you have experienced a whirlwind of social justice movements related to Black Lives Matter, the elections, fighting for our dreamers and undocumented status, and also just the gender dynamics amongst college students. So and not to mention the COVID-19 pandemic, right? And now being virtual. So when you think of social justice or the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, how has either of those had an impact on your lives? And how has that particularly impacted you as a man of color? because I know that there are many layers to how we view the impact on ourselves with these circumstances, but it might hit a little different by being a brother of color. So this time we'll start with Brother Manny. I think you're next to go first, and then we'll go down the line that way.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the impact that COVID-19 has had. So being born into an immigrant family, it's already pretty rough financially because like my parents are stuck working jobs that just pay minimum wage because they didn't have like higher education or opportunities for that. So now with COVID-19, it's been a little rough because like there's been people getting laid off or having their hours cut. Like for example, my dad had his hours cut, and it's kind of hard. Like we're just trying to survive, like having enough to pay rent and food and stuff like that. And something like the government helps with stimulus checks, but unfortunately, like, as being immigrants, we don't get that benefit. So we're left to like look for other solutions. So like either selling like food. Like for example, my mom, like, when this happened, she started like making food and selling food and helping my dad like in small ways that she can. So we have something to like help us out, and that's it.
When we think of social justice in this area, I'm first of all thankful that I got the exposure, because like before this in high school, I never became as socially aware. And now I feel like being a man of color, we should really be an ally to our African American brothers and sisters, hearing them out, doing what we can to educate others, donating when we can. And the pandemic has just increased this conversation that I feel like is long overdue. And, the 2020 election came, and I became very vocal about it. And I, in conclusion, just being able to know and be self-aware about what's going on in the world and what's going on with your neighbors, it's really crucial at this point in time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the pandemic has definitely brought out a lot out of people that we didn't see before. And when it comes to the topic of social justice, there's a lot of tough conversations that I personally have had with either new people that I have met or people that I knew before that I just had never had these conversations with. And I think that has kind of just taught me how important it is to have these conversations on a regular basis, because it's just something that needs to happen all the time, not just when there's a big event, not just when something tragic happens or during a pandemic. I think it's something that needs to happen continually, especially with those who aren't as educated, because for us as men of color, we might think it's implied. We might think like these are just things that people know, but it's not always. Our experiences are very different than other people's, and other people kind of need to educate themselves, and hopefully we can help. And we just need to kind of stand up a lot more and continue to fight for equality, because sadly it's just not something that we have yet.
Yeah, definitely with like both of these topics, especially with the social injustice one. I think the culture needs to change. We need to be more vocal about the things that are happening in our society, and with helping other people understand our ideals and what things should be done in like that something so basic. It just has to be known. Obviously, like as we've seen in the beginning of 2021, like there's a lot of things that many people don't agree on, and I feel like we just need to share our voice and get these two groups to understand how we can learn and be able to accept one another and be able to accept people as a whole. And then with the COVID pandemic, I think we just have to find a way to support one another, if that's either like, just texting one another or, just sharing some type of love. I think that's all that it is. It's important to be there for each other.
For me, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off Emmanuel. I kind of luckily my parents got their papers, but they immigrated here from Mexico. But just because they have papers doesn't mean they have the best jobs. So my dad's a painter and my mom cleans houses. And due because of, I guess, my color and due to COVID, I live in Santa Ana, where it is mostly Latino based. And obviously, if you see the news, Santa Ana is one of the top cities that have the most cases. So there has been certain situations where clients have canceled on my parents just because, like, oh, they know we're from Santa Ana. So that city's kind of like lower income. It's like kind of COVID like based. So that's probably the only bad thing that's happened due to the COVID-19 pandemic and because of the color of my skin. Just because, people don't want, I guess, people from Santa Ana working on their houses because of COVID, and maybe we're exposed. But it is what it is, the only thing I could do or we could do is just, keep our head high and keep pushing and keep working. And, that won't like define us, that just gives me more motivation to work harder and, graduate from college.
Thank you so much, brothers. Yeah, our social justice and the COVID pandemic has impacted all of our lives in so many different ways. And I do think that it's important to note that you all do have something that we call a brotherhood, right? And that you're not going through these situations and circumstances alone. And so as we wrap up, just think of one quick word that you think of when you think of the term brotherhood, and what comes to mind when you think of brotherhood, and then we'll wrap up and close out this panel. So when you think of brotherhood, what is something that comes to mind? And we can go in no particular order. Whoever has a response can unmute themselves and say their one word.
I'll say unity.
For me, it's support.
I'd say responsibility.
I would also say support.
I would say bond.
Cool. Well, brothers, thank you so much for participating in our 2020 Male Youth Empowerment Conference student panel. Again, make sure that you're visiting the website for more sessions that are pre-recorded, and don't forget to sign up to attend tomorrow's live session on Friday, January 22nd. And you can find all the links on the website for the MYEC conference. We want to thank you so much again for taking time out of your schedule to join us, and hopefully would have seen you in the real world, but we'll wave goodbye until next time.